Hey YouTube, I just wanted to show you that I've got this starter off a 135 horse Johnson. It was a 1970-ish model, and the starter doesn't seem to be functioning properly. It does work, but it doesn't seem to be spinning this Bendix very fast. And even with the spark plugs out, it would barely turn the motor over. So I'm going to take this apart and clean it, and that's what you'll see today. I thought maybe the Bendix was a little dirty, so I might take a look at that too and remove this and clean it. So that's kind of what's on the agenda today. And then after I get this reassembled, I'll put it back on the motor and we'll give it another test and see if we can get compression out of the motor. So stand by. So this isn't all that hard of a task. All you gotta do is pull these bolts out. They're 3/8 hex. So we'll get these off. This should pull apart. We'll get the armature out of it. Pull that out of there. This one I've got loose, but I just gotta get it all the way out. And before I take this apart, I just want you to notice that there is a lineup mark both on the housing and on the base. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's right under the bolt here. So hopefully you can see that. But there is a hash mark that you line up. You got to get that right when you put it back together. I just want to take apart the motor itself to see how the magnets look and also how the brushes look. If they need cleaned, the armature if it needs cleaned, commutator. Okay. Okay, I was able to get it apart without removing the Bendix. I don't think I have to remove the Bendix. So looks as though the commutator armature part contacts the brushes from the top. So these all four of these brushes look actually very good. I don't see anything sticking. Springs are good. So it should be maybe some good cleaning will just allow me. This one looks a little stuck, so maybe we weren't getting full power to it. We'll see. So I can clean all that up. I do want to try to pull this out though. Yeah, this is pretty dirty. This is very dirty here. So we can clean that up. So I don't think it's the Bendix. The Bendix isn't caked with a bunch of grease or anything, so I can spray that and just leave it alone. Maybe take a look at the magnets in here. I think the magnets look okay. Maybe I'll get a light in there. Yeah. You can see the magnets look pretty good. I don't see anything broken. Okay. I just think it needs cleaned up, and I think this thing will work well. Again, maybe you just use an eraser and clean that off. I know, some people use sandpaper or Scotch Guard, but I'm gonna just try using a pencil eraser and just clean that up. Maybe I'll squirt this down with a little bit of carb cleaner, and then maybe put a little dab of grease down at the bottom for the shaft on the bearing. I just want to see if I can clean this off some. And that won't do any harm at all. Yeah, you can see the copper coming back in it. Somewhat better. I used some carburetor cleaner, and I did use a Scotch-Brite pad, you know, something plastic that shouldn't do any damage to it. So that's much cleaner than it was. And so is this. This was caked with a bunch of carbon, but maybe I'll do the same thing with these brushes before I reassemble it. But that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to do. Maybe clean this out a bit. Yeah, magnets are in good shape. Yeah. Let me go spray this down a little bit with some carb cleaner just to get the gunk out of it. But then I can reassemble. I'll just put it back together and away we go. Let's try it this way. Well, that's why. Okay. The long mark is for the top. Maybe this was turned. I'll have to look at my video because I'm pretty sure the long mark was at the bottom. But I believe now I'm looking at this. The long mark is the top mark. Now these line up. Okay. Mystery solved. Okay, so that goes in like that. And okay. Okay, I'm just threading in a couple of threads if I can get it on each bolt. See where my mark is in relationship to the. Again, we gotta line up the hash marks, and that's all the way the other way. Okay, I gotta turn that around. there. Now these marks are lined up down here. Now maybe I can thread that in. I don't know. We'll see. There. No. That's lined up, so that's lined up and that's lined up. So this should go in. Okay. Now. Okay, that should be it. Go bench test it again in the garage, see if I get any more power out of it. Because it was spinning, and it was spinning quite fast, but it wasn't spinning fast enough to really throw this Bendix gear up where it belongs. And when it did engage the flywheel, it really wasn't turning the engine over very fast. So, all right. Let's take a look. We'll take it in the garage and find out. Okay. We're going to give this a bench test to see if it spins over any faster than it did. I know I don't have video of it from previous, but I take my word for it. You'll see this Bendix shoot up fast, and it should stay up there, I would think. I know they drop sometimes, but when they engage, it should have enough power to turn the flywheel, and it stays there probably by friction. But anyway, we'll see what this looks like. I'll be able to tell if it's powerful enough, if it'll work. We'll see what happens. Yeah, see, it went up, but it was exactly the same as it was before. I'm not seeing any improvement in that Bendix. That Bendix, I don't know why. I mean, it's clean now. That motor don't seem very, very powerful to me. That's unusual. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's any better than it was. Well, maybe the armature of the commutator is bad. I don't know. I didn't do a resistance check on it. But, well, we could try it. We could put it back in the motor and give it a try, but or just buy another. This could be an aftermarket starter, too. And sometimes, if they're not OEM, they're just not strong enough to crank over, in my opinion. But she's assembled back together properly and cleaned up, so it should work, but time will tell, I guess. We've disassembled the starter. We've reassembled it after cleaning, and it seems to function still. It doesn't seem to function any better than it did, but anyway, at least there's a tutorial you have here on how to disassemble an electrical motor. Clean it, reassemble it, and you know what? It should work better. It may even still work better. It's hard for me to tell on the bench, but the Bendix does come up. We'll see if it engages the flywheel a little stronger, and once I get it back, the owner actually let me take the starter off the engine before buying it to bring it back here and clean it. So my plan is to go purchase that motor, bring it back here, reassemble the starter to it, and we'll do a compression check with it and see if it'll work. But anyway, at least you've got some kind of tutorial on how to disassemble and clean and reassemble an electric motor. A starter motor, to be specific, on an outboard motor. So hopefully this will help somebody. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. You'll see this reassembled onto the motor,
and we'll do a compression check. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More to come.